Did you know that 95% of our decisions are made by our subconscious mind? That's right, most of what we choose to buy, watch, or even think about happens without us realizing it. And yet, most marketers focus on ads, spending billions to grab our attention. But here's the truth, you don't need ads to sell. You just need to understand how the mind works. In this video, I'm going to reveal the secrets of marketing psychology that almost no one talks about. You'll discover how to use the power of human behavior to sell anything, even if you have no ad budget. Ever heard of the scarcity effect? It's one of the most powerful ways to get people to act fast, and it's not just about limited time offers. Or how about the fact that storytelling makes your brand 22 times more memorable? I'll show you how to use these tricks to make customers choose you, without the pushy ads. Stick around, because what you're about to learn will completely change the way you think about marketing. Ready to crack the code? Let's dive in. Chapter 1. Unlocking the human brain, the hidden triggers that drive buying decisions. When it comes to selling, understanding how the human brain works is key. Most people don't realize that the brain is constantly making decisions without us even noticing. This is where psychological triggers come in. These are cues that can subtly influence consumer behavior. For example, the concept of social proof is incredibly powerful. People tend to follow the crowd, and this can be seen in everything from customer reviews to influencer endorsements. A study by Nielsen found that 92% of consumers trust recommendations from friends and family more than any form of advertising. Another trigger is anchoring, which refers to the tendency to rely heavily on the first piece of information we receive. If you see a high-priced product next to a cheaper one, the cheaper one looks like a deal, even if it's still expensive. This is why strategic pricing works so well in marketing. Also, the idea of reciprocity plays a huge role in influencing consumer behavior. When you give something, people feel an unconscious need to give back. This is why free samples or valuable content can lead to purchases. Think about how you feel after receiving a gift. You're more likely to buy something from that brand, right? By using these psychological tactics, you don't need ads to drive sales. You simply need to tap into how your audience already thinks. For instance, offering limited-time deals taps into the brain's fear of losing out, called FOMO. According to research by Cornell University, people are far more likely to act when they believe an opportunity is fleeting. So, the first step to cracking the marketing code is to understand the subconscious decisions that guide purchases. When you start aligning your strategy with these triggers, sales almost become inevitable. Chapter 2. The secret power of storytelling, how to make customers fall in love with your brand. In today's world, storytelling is no longer just for books or movies. It's an essential marketing tool. The reason is simple, humans are hardwired to connect with stories. A study published by Harvard Business Review found that stories are 22 times more memorable than facts alone. That's huge for any brand looking to stick in the minds of potential customers. Think of the brands that have mastered storytelling: Apple, Nike, and Coca-Cola. They don't just sell products, they sell a story. Nike's "Just Do It" is a prime example. It's not just about shoes or athletic wear, it's about overcoming obstacles, self-empowerment, and achievement. This emotional connection helps build brand loyalty that goes far beyond just a single transaction. Storytelling is effective because it taps into the brain's emotional centers. Studies show that people make decisions based on emotion and then justify them with logic. This is why an inspiring story can sway someone's decision more than a straight-up product pitch. You don't need a Hollywood production to tell a good story. Simple, authentic narratives can work wonders. Take the time to share your brand's origin story or tell stories of how your product has made a difference in someone's life. It creates relatability, trust, and connection. According to Forbes, 64% of consumers make a purchase after watching a branded social video. And remember, people love to feel part of a community. You can weave this into your story. For instance, show how your customers are a part of something bigger than just buying a product. They're part of a movement or an idea. This sense of belonging creates a deeper emotional investment and increases the likelihood of long-term loyalty. The key is to keep your stories consistent, authentic, and emotionally engaging. With the right story, your audience won't just remember your brand, they'll love it. Chapter 3. Mind games in marketing, the art of persuasion without pressuring your audience. One of the best things about marketing is that persuasion doesn't always mean pushing hard. In fact, subtlety can often be much more effective. A well-timed nudge can be far more powerful than a direct request. This is where the concept of persuasion psychology comes in. By understanding the mental shortcuts people use, you can nudge them toward making a purchase without ever being salesy. Take the scarcity principle, for instance. This is based on the idea that people tend to value things more when they perceive them as scarce. This isn't just a tactic for big sales. According to Cialdini's famous book Influence, people are 50% more likely to buy a product if they believe it's in short supply. You don't have to be aggressive about it, simply highlighting that a deal is limited or a product is in demand can create urgency. Another method is framing. This refers to how you present information. For example, if you tell someone that a product has a 90% customer satisfaction rate, that sounds great. But if you frame it as 10% of customers weren't satisfied, the same data now sounds less appealing. It's all about how you present the facts. The principle of authority also plays a massive role in persuasion. People are more likely to trust and follow an expert. This is why showing customer testimonials, or collaborating with influencers, can push someone over the edge into making a purchase. Moreover, social proof works wonders when you create a sense of community around your brand. When potential buyers see that others like them are already making purchases or interacting with your brand, they're more likely to follow suit. This goes hand in hand with the idea that humans are wired to conform to social norms. Finally, never underestimate the power of small commitments. When people commit to small actions, like signing up for a newsletter or clicking on a product, they are more likely to follow through with a bigger action, like buying. This is called the foot in the door technique and is one of the most effective strategies for building long-term customer relationships. So, while you might not be using big ads or flashy campaigns, using psychological persuasion can still lead to substantial sales. When done right, these strategies can build a loyal customer base without pushing people away. If you're finding this information helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more tips on marketing psychology and sales strategies. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on the next chapter. Chapter 4, The Invisible Funnel. How to build a seamless customer journey without ads. Building a successful customer journey doesn't require expensive ads or pushy sales tactics. Instead, focus on creating a seamless experience that guides your customer from interest to conversion. This is what we call the invisible funnel, a system that nurtures your prospects without you having to sell at every step. One of the easiest ways to start is by offering value up front. Content marketing works wonders here. A blog post, a free guide, or a helpful video can all attract potential customers. In fact, research from HubSpot shows that companies with blogs get 55% more website visitors than those without. But it's not just about attracting people. It's about keeping them engaged. This is where email marketing comes in. By nurturing your leads with relevant, timely emails, you can guide them through the funnel without ever pressuring them. In fact, a study by Optin Monster found that 72% of people who received a personalized email made a purchase. Now, don't underestimate the power of trust building. If customers trust your brand, they're more likely to make a purchase. This is why creating trust signals, like customer reviews or expert endorsements, is critical. According to Bright Local, 87% of consumers read online reviews for local businesses before making a decision. The next step is to leverage retargeting. If someone visits your website but doesn't make a purchase, gently remind them with retargeting ads or an email follow-up. This keeps your product top of mind without being overbearing. Interestingly, Criteo reports that retargeting ads can increase conversion rates by 70%. To build a truly invisible funnel, consider using referral programs. Word-of-mouth marketing is incredibly effective. Nielsen found that 83% of consumers trust recommendations from people they know, which is why referral systems can drive organic growth. Make it easy for your current customers to spread the word and reward them for doing so. By focusing on these strategies, you can build an effective, non-intrusive sales process that converts without needing traditional ads. It's all about creating a smooth, trust-based journey that gently leads customers to make the decision themselves. If you're loving these insights, make sure to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the final chapters of this marketing masterclass. Chapter 5, Reverse Psychology in Marketing. Get people to want what you've got without asking. Reverse psychology is one of the most intriguing and effective marketing techniques, and it works like a charm. The idea is simple. Rather than telling someone they should buy your product, you subtly imply that it's not for everyone, making them want it even more. The scarcity principle ties directly into this. For example, telling customers that your product is not for everyone, or that it's only for those who truly appreciate quality, makes the offer seem more exclusive. A study from the University of California showed that people tend to desire things more when they believe they're being restricted in some way. A great example of this in action is the invitation-only marketing approach. Brands like Everlane and Glossier have used this technique to great success, making customers feel like they're part of an exclusive group. This builds a sense of belonging and desire. After all, who doesn't want to be part of something special? Another reverse psychology tactic is to highlight the flaws of your product. It may sound counterintuitive, but this strategy works because it makes your product seem more authentic. When you downplay its perfection, customers perceive it as being more honest. Dr. Robert Cialdini, in his book Influence, talks about how people trust brands more when they admit their flaws, because it shows transparency and honesty. You can also use the principle of commitment and consistency. Once someone expresses interest in your product, even in a small way, they're more likely to purchase. For example, offering a free trial or a low-cost entry point gets customers to make that first commitment, after which it's easier to convince them to buy. Finally, the scarcity effect plays a huge role in reverse psychology. When people think something is in limited supply, their desire for it skyrockets. This works because of our innate fear of missing out, FOMO. Studies show that people are more motivated to take action when they feel they might lose the opportunity. By using these subtle reverse psychology tactics, you can make your product irresistible without ever being too pushy. It's all about flipping the narrative and letting customers come to their own conclusions. Chapter 6: The Scarcity Code. Using fear of missing out, FOMO, to create urgency without ads. Creating urgency doesn't require loud, flashy ads. In fact, the best way to generate urgency is through the power of scarcity, the fear of missing out, or FOMO. This psychological principle is one of the most effective tools in any marketer's toolkit, and it doesn't need to involve expensive ad campaigns. When you make your product seem scarce or in high demand, people are more likely to act quickly. A study by the University of Pennsylvania showed that when a product was presented as limited edition, it led to a 50% increase in purchases. People don't want to miss out, and that urgency often leads to quick decisions. Scarcity can be created in a few different ways. Time-sensitive offers, such as flash sales or limited-time discounts, create a sense of urgency that pushes customers to act. For example, showing a countdown timer on your website can encourage people to make a purchase before the deal expires. Amazon uses this technique effectively with its Deal of the Day promotions. Another effective method is to highlight limited stock levels. Letting your customers know that only a few items are left in stock can trigger a sense of urgency. Booking.com uses this tactic often, saying things like, "Only 2 rooms left at this price." It makes the customer feel like they need to act fast to avoid missing out. Urgency also works well when you combine it with social proof. When you show how many people are looking at a product or how many have already bought it, it creates a sense that the product is in high demand. Kickstarter campaigns often use this strategy to generate excitement and urgency, making people feel like they need to act quickly to join the movement. However, it's important to use scarcity ethically. People can sense when scarcity is artificial, and this can backfire. Always make sure that your offers are genuine and not just a marketing ploy. This builds trust, which is crucial for long-term success. Creating urgency with scarcity doesn't need to be complicated. By incorporating simple, effective strategies like limited time offers, low stock alerts, and social proof, you can make your product feel irresistible without ever needing a huge ad budget. Thanks for watching. If you found these strategies helpful, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. You don't want to miss any more insights that can help you crack the marketing code and skyrocket your sales.